It feels incredible to say this, but the market is looking better than we've seen it in quite some time. From CPI catalyst to inflation to what's going on chain to some of the things that Trump is saying. It looks like we might have a great rest of the year. So in this video, I do want to talk about why I am very bullish at this point in time, why I think right now is a great time to actually be buying altcoins, be buying some of those cycle leaders, and also where I'm looking to potentially get into some of these narratives and some tokens within some narratives that I want to trickle some money into as they start to run. Let's go ahead and jump right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel here on In the Money, we go over everything to win from crypto, prediction markets, and more. So hit the links down below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Also, on Friday, we launched the In the Money Discord. Really excited about this. You're going to be able to get hands-on access, one-on-one in a community full of traders across crypto and prediction markets to myself and my expert chartists, meme coin traders, and more. We're going to be giving signals every single day, trenching, going into the prediction market space. You can actually get 3 days for free and also at $49 a month. One of the most affordable groups out there in the entire sector. So you can join the wait list here. You're going to get 3 days absolutely free. So hit that wait list down below. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video. I tweeted just before I went live that the market is feeling like it's heating up. Twitter's heating up. You know, they did like an algorithm change and it feels like crypto Twitter kind of got boosted back up to what feels like the old days, like kind of like the glory days of crypto Twitter. The trenches are hot, obviously, between Robinhood and some coin, etc. So I said, what a time to be alive. Like, I actually feel quite alive heading into the next few months of crypto. We look at the narrative side here. Over the weekly time frame, the entire DEX narrative is up 3%. And this is a whole narrative, not just a single coin. We see stuff like proof of work up 5%, lending up 2.5%. We see L2s up 1.5%. So a pretty good spectrum going on here. And then on the daily charts today, you can see some of these different narratives that are popping up. It's just good to see green across the board. And look, there's plenty of catalysts for this. The CPI, PPI numbers. CPI came in very good. We're seeing some good moves on the charts. If we go in over here on CoinMarketCap, you can see 7-day charts on Bitcoin. We're up 5%. Ethereum's running like crazy. It's up 10%. We have stuff like Zcash up 22%. Continues to prove it is probably a must hold throughout this cycle. Hyperliquid's creeping back up to that $70 level. We see other coins in the sectors, you know, like AI and privacy doing very well. So it is nice to see a spark in this market. And just generally speaking, I think the one thing that we saw last year is after the election, say what you want about President Trump, you know, understandably so. He has been good at times. He has been bad at times for the crypto market. I'm not going to dispute that whatsoever. Has he taken more than he's given? Yes, objectively so. However, I do think that when Trump does want to put the full court press once again on crypto, like he did last year, like he did during his election campaign, we saw Bitcoin go up to $120,000 based off basically President Trump parading all these bills and laws and regulations. Not really laws, regulations. But President Trump calling for the Senate to pass the Crypto Clarity Act. If we actually get this advanced and Trump puts a little bit of a full court press once again on Bitcoin and the crypto industry, this will actually end up being very positive. People that are sidelined and retail, quote unquote, or, you know, traditional investors, they want to see this involvement, right? Whenever it goes quiet, like what happened to that? What happened to Trump being all bullish on Bitcoin? If he gets bullish on Bitcoin once again, despite whatever natives of crypto think that he's extracted from the space with World Liberty Fi or whatever the case is, this is good for the overall perspective of money coming into crypto. Also, look, Robinhood has taken their, you know, plunge into crypto. You can see what's trending on Robinhood chain from the Robinhood wallet. So like, this is tremendous. They're going to be putting crypto in front of so many people's faces throughout this cycle. Imagine when we do trend back up towards 100K, new all-time highs on Bitcoin, the amount of retail money that is just waiting on the Robinhood app, the Robinhood wallet, and the Robinhood chain. And we literally have Vlad, the CEO of Robinhood, saying they're moving beyond putting stock tokens inside an app like tokenized assets. So this is going to be massive. He is super bullish on crypto trading. And we're actually going to come back to this because I think there's a sleeper token out there that got hit pretty hard but I do think this is going to make a massive comeback as well. And look, there's just really promising products coming out on Robinhood chain. We have 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏, which is like a blackjack meme coin variant type of thing. This is just recently launched. I'm pretty bullish on this. And especially from a crypto gaming standpoint, like people are coming out with little mini games on Robinhood chain. So it's just cool to see innovation once again. It feels like the space has been flat for quite some time. Also regulation. Look, we have 𝗘𝗃 perps, and some people overlooked this. However, you know, at the end of the day, this is massive because US people can actually jump in here and trade perps. Pretty straightforward. So I'm absolutely loving this. USA users had to usually use a VPN, use offshore exchanges, DeFi onboarding, you know, whatever the case is. But this gives people hands-on access to perps through a CFTC regulated exchange in 𝗘𝗃. So look, the USA is becoming more prone to these products, which is awesome, and more accepting to these products. And look, if you want to trade perps without your own capital, you can hit the link down below. There's a 50% off discount with our official partners, Bitfunded, just talking about leverage trading here. If you want to trade with other people's money, which is what the banks do, the financial institutions do, you can get 50% off all challenges down below in the description. You can do a $5,000 challenge all the way up to a $100,000 challenge. If you pass the challenge, you will get funded to trade. Challenges start at $80. So I just wanted to give that a plug because perps are heating up too. And once the market shows a clear direction, people are going to be making so much money on leverage trades. So what narratives am I looking at right now? And what token was I alluding to whenever it comes to Robinhood? So of course, I stay true to my word. The only coins I'm really hyper fixated on right now, no pun intended, hyper liquid, Zcash, stuff like Tau, Near Protocol up 10% today, which is great to see. If we go look here at 𝗏𝗔𝗟𝗏𝗏 Tau, VVV is still taking the hit off that equity plunge. It's just really hard to be bullish in the short term right now on VVV. We still have 𝗏𝗔𝗟 under $200, but my core focus is right now AI privacy indexes, Hyperliquid, Near Protocol, Tau, as well as Zcash. And these are all performing very well at the end of the day. You know, Tau's sideways today, but Zcash is up 20% on the weekly. And we do see Hyperliquid trending back up to that $70 mark. But what am I talking about as far as a token that's associated with Robinhood that I think is being very, very slept on? That is Lighter. A lot of people felt underwhelmed at the airdrop or whatever the case is. They felt like they were owed something at the end of the day. But when we look at Lighter, Lighter is actually the official partner of Robinhood chain. They are operating the perps on Robinhood. If we go look at the Lighter ecosystem, look, it took a big plunge, obviously, after TGE, but we're starting to see a little bit of an uptick here. Bottomed out at about 495 million TVL and is now back up to like 550 million TVL. If we look here, this company is still doing $71 million in revenue every single year. That is nothing to, like, there's blockchains that raised hundreds of millions of dollars that are doing like $3,000 every 24 hours in fees. So with Robinhood onboarding, using Lighter, this is probably one of the most underrated plays in crypto. And if there was one perps deck that I would look at other than Hyperliquid right now, it would probably be Lighter, sitting at 250 about at this point in time. And we look at the year, the uptrend has started as of April. This feels like a move that was more based off people knowing that Robinhood, was going to be associating this. But at the end of the day, on the all chart, we're basically right back at launch levels. I wouldn't be surprised if we head into a little bit of a bull market, especially considering the 4-year cycle usually resets in about October of this year. I think Lighter could be a really slept on token. So I'll leave that to be. That would be the one token on the outside looking in that I'm really interested in. And if we start to see an uptrend in the market, Robinhood chain stays hot, I think I'll definitely be putting in a long position on something like Lighter. But look, there's so much to be excited about in crypto. And I think just generally speaking, the tone in my voice and just the, happiness that I'm getting seeing the market, it's great. I mean, it's been a rough 2026 for everyone, top to bottom, unless you are a expert level meme coin trencher or an expert level leverage trader. This year's been pretty rough for you, but I think the next 5 months of the year should be absolutely tremendous. And I think that right now is a great time to line up your top positions. Make sure you have your buys ready. and to take advantage of these entries, because it looks like crypto could be a focus legislation and regulation wise, but also if the 4-year cycle is intact, it looks like the bottom is likely near. So guys, like the video down below, subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. As always, trade responsibly, my friends, and of course, stay bullish, my friends.